Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today I would like to share with you some of my fan brushes. This was a highly requested video by some viewers who wanted to know how to use the fan brushes. So I thought it would be a good idea to share with you guys some of my fan brushes in my collection. Fan brushes comes in various sizes, various potential different shapes of the fans itself, various hair types, and from different manufacturers. They come with designs of plain handles, and often not many people knows how to use a fan brush. So today will be a fun video about how to use fan brushes. Let's get started. When we think about a fan brush shape, the traditional distinct fan brush shape that we think of is in fact a fan. But depending on various OEM, we have slight variations. I know this brush was a limited edition, but this is being used as for comparative purposes. We can see the way that the fan splays out with the pinched ferrule, the white one here is actually a Wayne Goss, and sadly it was a limited edition, but I believe the Sonyoji, the last time I checked, it was still available on Beautylish. I'm not sure if it's being discontinued, but I do hope that she brings it back. So the more non-conventional fan shapes, we would have shapes like this, also a Wayne Goss, which I don't believe we can get it anymore, but Hakuhodo does carry fan shapes similar to the Wayne Goss special edition 2018, and we can see the similarity in the shape and the manner that the ferrule was pinched and the shape of the ferrule as well. This is goat hair, and it was not specified by the OEM, by actually the reseller, by the brand Wayne Goss itself, the reseller being Beautylish. It was not specified, I believe, but I do know that this was labeled as goat. We have the Takeda, which is more the traditional fan brush shape, and compared to the Sonyoji, it's very similar. The ferrule is very similar. With the Takeda, a little bit more, I would say, less rounded on the edges compared to the Sonyoji, and with the ferrule a little bit more crimped. The brush from Takeda is a goat, is a silver fox, not a goat, my apologies. And in comparison to the goat, let's use the Sonyoji, it's a little bit less dense And considering the type of hair, we would say it's fluffier, and it displays our product in a less, in a more diffuse manner, less dense. There's more texture in the Sonyeji. I have been using this brush, and I will show you guys later on how I use the brush with makeup products. In fact, fan brushes are often quite underestimated because when we look at the shape, often one doesn't know much how to use it, but in fact we can use this brush for foundation, a sheer application for foundation. We can use it for blushes, for even powder, for stamping, for swiping motion, for even buffing. It really works wonders. Sonyeji has various types of fan brushes, and each one of them holds a very special place in my heart. It's like choosing your children when choosing over Fude. We have from Koyudo. I would consider this more to be a highlighter brush because it's so wispy, and in fact I call it the witch's broom because it does kind of in a way look like a witch's broom. I think of a broom when I see this brush. And for highlighter, for diffuse and very light application of highlighter, and why not even blush? Very pigmented blush, it will work out. And even for finishing, we have here the Hakuhodo Itabake. It's a traditional Japanese traditional brush, and they are made from goat. But I believe since then that Hakuhodo has converted it to mix goat synthetic brushes. We can use it for cream, liquid, powder products. We can use it. I have used it for foundation, and the size of this one, I believe, is 25. Is excellent for in all the little more detailed areas like around the nose and around the mouth. In the smaller areas, I have a small face. In spite of loving big brushes, I do like smaller brushes sometimes, depending on that particularly what I want to do with the brush. So the next shape I wanted to show, before I go into this shape, I did forget a tiny little brush. In fact, this little fan brush, shape still very conventional to the conventional fan shape brushes. It's a Rubloff, and this brush is made from Kolinsky. So it's Kolinsky fan brush. And this brush it was shared with me by a very special friend. And at first, I was thinking, what do I do with it? And my friend said to me, well, it's for concealer. Try it with concealer. And true enough, concealer, oh wow. I tried it once and mamma mia, I loved it. I loved it. So for demo, I have a Clé de Peau stick concealer, and I'm just gonna dab it very lightly. And I have a birthmark here. Let's cover up the birthmark. We can do it swiping motions. Going back for more. We can go for the wiggle motion. And voila! So this is actually one of my favorite concealer brushes. It really works wonders, and I believe you can still get it on Rublof's website and some other resellers. And then we have the handheld fans. The handheld fans are actually, I would call them fun little foodies, because very often they come in various shapes and colors. We have Hakuhodo, and we have different type of handles, the kokutan, the salt and pepper being the mix squirrel and goat hair. The goat hair, we have something for everybody. So fan shapes are actually very fun to use, very functional, and not just brushes for the purpose of collector. You can for collector's purpose, but I see Fude as a functional tool besides, you know, having fun with the brushes. We have this one here from the Beppin Sakura collection, which is in fact from the OEM Murashiki Sanyo. It's made from dyed goat hair, and you can see what a fun little fan shaped brush. I sometimes just place it on my vanity. We have here the Kokutan from Hakuhodo. I do have to say that I have heard some people mention that it's now being released in a much thinner version. But then mine was purchased some years back, and I was lucky enough to still have one that is quite dense and packed with quite a big amount of hair. I do enjoy using fan brushes. My favorite way, in fact, to use them would be for bronzers, diffuse blush, and finishing. This one here is a less conventional fan shape. From Koyudo. It's a mix of squirrel and goat hair. It's very plush. Softness is subjective, so I would not use the word soft, but to me, it is soft. And we can see the difference between the two salt and peppers. I would say that the Koyudo is slightly a bit softer. We can still get both of these brushes. Fude Japan is actually selling this brush on his website, so please, I shall link his site below. I am not affiliated to him, but he does sell it. And Hakuhodo. So we have two salt and peppers, slightly different shapes, and quite similar in the density, but the Koyudo, I would say, is a little bit denser, and the hair frizz a little bit more plush. It may be just me, but I feel as if the softness might be coming from the fact that there might be more squirrel hair, or the way that the brush was bundled, because if we look at the side, we can see here at the bottom here, nearer to the handle, this is more pinched than this one here. We can see that the bundling, it goes like this. And for the Kyudo, it's more flared out. So we can feel that it's more plush. But then again, there could be other factors such as different hair batches, different type of goat hair, and different part of the squirrel. But that is not specified by the OEM, so it will be hard to judge. And we have from Chikuhodo. I initially bought this brush here many years back. This brush is in fact a mixed goat and grey squirrel. And when I received it, I was a little bit disappointed because the brush felt very light. This is very plasticky when we compare it to the Kokutan, which is wood obviously, or to even the Kyudo, which is plastic, but better quality plastic, and you can feel it's weightier, it feels nicer. But having said that, the hair is extremely lovely. The brush works amazing for blending, for bronzing, for even finishing, like with the Guerlain meteorites. We can do the perfect 3 shape. It's a very functional brush, especially for travels. You throw it in a little brush pouch before putting it in your bag, and you can actually travel with it. Sometimes I take it to work and it follows me everywhere. So it's no-brainer brush, no need to baby it. And the pink one here is in fact a sibling I picked up much later on because it was pink. So honestly, this was the main reason why I got drawn into picking up this brush, because it was pink. Please do not do what I do, because everybody's budget is different. And for me, I really got drawn in because the pink was calling me. This particular pink Chikuhodo brush is in fact dye goat hair. It's 100% dye goat hair, and because it's goat, you can see that it's got more texture. It's not as soft as the mixed squirrel and dyed goat, the previous sibling. And because of that, some people with sensitive skin might, the pink one might not be their preference. I do have sensitive skin because of tretinoin that I am using. But on days that I am not using tretinoin, I feel as if my skin is less sensitive and I am able to use. But by preference, the mixed goat and squirrel from Chikuhodo is my favorite between the two. And we also do have a latest addition to the fan family, and this brush was released by Kyudo, I believe, a couple of weeks back. I ordered mine from Fude Beauty. It was back ordered, and initially I believe that this brush was labeled as squirrel hair, but in fact it's not squirrel. It's a mixed squirrel and goat. In spite of that, this brush is still very plush, very soft, and I say softness is subjective because what may be soft for me might not be soft for others. On my fingertips it feels soft, because compared to the Hakuhodo 100% goat hair, this brush is soft. It's definitely soft. So in comparison, next to the Chikuhoro, no difference at all. I don't find any difference because both of them are mixed goat and squirrel. But the reason why I bought it was actually because of the Mount Fuji. And depending on the direction, how the light hits the brush, we can see that the sakura petals have this sheen to them. It's not a reason to purchase a brush, but when we combine Fude with art, why not? So that's it for today, my foodie friends. We shall be calling it a wrap. I hope you had some fun with me playing with the fan brushes, and I hope that you have learned something about fan brushes. Do not be afraid of fan brushes. They are very functional tools. They are very fun to play with, and I hope that if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to comment down below, and let's follow each other on Instagram. Thank you for watching. Until next time.